It's that time, y'all. Time for Big Boys Boxing.
If you think I'm a pussy, I'm a punk, you tell me right now. Because listen, I am the baddest nigga you ever fucking meet.
So that'll give a bit of energy.
Yeah.
It's good night. It is all over in the 11th round.
What's going on, team? Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing for a bit of a chilled chat. Couple of fights coming up, couple of cards, bit of a chat about what happened with all the midgets over the weekend. It is what it is. But as you roll in, make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and the bell icon for future notifications, so you don't miss anything as it comes. Haven't been as active lately, being honest. Pretty bored with what's going on with heavyweight boxing at the moment. There's not a lot of matchups happening, fights falling through, so on and so forth. It is what it is. So before we get too far into it, let me drop a link for anybody to join. Boom, there we go. Pin that to the top and go get into the chat myself. Where's my channel? Boom, there we go, we're in. So over the weekend I watched a few fights, had a few bets on. This is my worst betting weekend for a long time. I made no money. I lost $20. One of my multis, Elwin Soto, was supposed to win. He lost to Hacky. Oh, what's his name? South African spoiler dude. Lost to him. But was what it was. Another one that wrecked another one of my multis was that undisputed welterweight fight for the women between Jessica McCaskill and that other tall chick who quit in an undisputed fight after 3 rounds, didn't come out for the 4th. I mean, who does that in an undisputed fight? Girls in the wrong sport. I also had Jesse Rodriguez Franco to win on decision. I picked the method of victory because it was paying better. I didn't think he'd stop. Saw Rungvisai, but he did, and well done to the young man. So yeah, killed my bets this weekend, but it was what it was. Hannibal B in the house, good to see you in, bro. Adria in the house as well, Odari, sorry. And yeah, it was bad luck. One fight I did enjoy was that Sam Eggington v, what was his name, Pavislav Zisk. He was an unbeaten Pole. He'd never fought anybody, first time out of the UK. After 2 rounds, it looked like he was going to get knocked out in 3. He almost got stopped in the 3rd, but he got a hell of a rock hard cement chin, that lad. He was very basic, way out of his depth, but he hung through the storm. Eggington slowed down, and Zisk actually was landing a few 1-2s later in the fight, but it was well outmatched. But that was the closest thing to a bigger boys fight that I saw over the weekend. What's his name? MJ Akhmadaliev had a good performance. Damaged his left hand. He's a southpaw. Damaged his left hand a couple of rounds in and basically beat what's his name, Romy Ramos. with one hand for about 7 rounds, and then went to town in the last round, started throwing his left hand as well, and got the stoppage in the last round. So well done to MJ as well. But wow, that young kid, Bam Rodriguez, he's got 2 belts at what was he only got 1 belt? I can't remember. At 115, he reckons he's going to go back down to 112. I don't see why, man. He should be trying to get the Chocolatito fight. They're both with the zone, so man, why not? He's already taken out two of the kings, the 4 kings, pretty much down there. So I can't see why he wants to go back down to 112 just so he can become champion in another division and say he's a multi-weight champion or some crazy shit. But I wouldn't mind seeing him go up to 115 as well. See him take on Naota Inoue. 118. See him take on Naota Inoue as well. Get into it, young lad. He's only 22. If he takes a loss, it's only early in his career, so why not get into it, man? Hemi versus Babak, huh? Yeah, man, I've been wanting that for a long time. My shouts have been unheard, man. It's unfortunate. So we got this Joe Joyce v Christian Hammer fight coming up on the weekend. Meh. It's a tune-up, I guess. Joe Joyce has been out of the ring for over a year. He should bang Hammer out of there in 3 or 4 rounds, I reckon. But it's a heavyweight fight, and you know, it's a card to watch. There's a couple of other decent fights on the card as well. The co-main event is the super bantamweight fight, another midget fight. I'm getting sick of these midgets. Jason Cunningham, who's 31-6, is taking on Zolane Tete, who is 29-4. It's a 12-round fight, and it's for the IBF International Super Bantamweight title. It's also for the Commonwealth Super Bantamweight title. I also say Commonwealth, British European, British Empire. Okay, yeah, Commonwealth. We got another fight on there, which I will definitely be watching. Callum Johnson, light heavyweight, 20-1. He's pretty much taking a bit of a tune-up, I think. This guy, Igor McCulkin, who's 24-3. Be worth a look though, for sure. Also on there we've got Nathan Heaney, middleweight. He's 15-0. He's in a 10-round fight against Nazir. How do we say this one? Trinich. Don't know the dude. He's 9-3-2. And one more worth mentioning. Where did I see it? No, there's a couple more on there, but yeah, none that I'm really that interested in. There's a super welterweight one here. Nicky Burke, 6-0, in a 6-round fight against Serge Ambomo, who's 7-31. Holy McJesus, 7-31 with 3 draws. If you've got 31 losses with only 7 wins, what the hell are you still doing in the game, man? That's crazy. That's crazy. So I'll just quickly jump back over to the chat. see what y'all are saying. Yeah, so a walk in the park for Joyce coming up the weekend. Nothing much else going on in the chat, alright. So there is a midweek card on Wednesday in New Zealand time. It'll be Thursday in the UK and the States. We've got Liam Wilson, who's 10-1, taking on Matthias Carlos Adrian Rueda, yeah, Rueda. This is the main event, 37-1. He is, and that's a super featherweight fight. But there is this one here that I'm interested in, light heavyweight fight between Paulo Owakuso. He's only 1-0 at present. He'll be in an 8-round fight against Robert Berridge, who's 30-8 with 1 draw. It could be a pretty decent fight. I've seen this Paulo Owakuso fight before. He's a pretty decent sort of fighter, so definitely worth a look. We've also got a middleweight fight on here. Benjamin Hurson, who's 5-1 in an 8-round fight against Wes Kappa, who's 22-4-1. We've also got a bantamweight fight. Shannon O'Connell. It's women's, I think. Yeah, Shannon O'Connell rings a bell. Yeah, it is a women's fight. She's 22-6-1. Is she that? I think she's that blonde Aussie chick, eh? Taking on Sarah Higginson. She's 3-1-1. I won't be too excited about that. Never very excited about women's fights, but some of them are definitely worth looking at. There's not a lot else on there really worth looking at. Oh, we've got a heavyweight fight at the very bottom here. Justin Hodges. Rugby league matchup. That's what it is. Justin Hodges. He's 3-1. In a 4-round fight against Ben Hammett. They're both rugby league players. Ben Hammett's on debut. So there's a heavyweight fight at the start of the show on there. There's another one here listed without a weight. Ella Boot, who's 1-0. It's another women's fight, 4 2-minute rounds against Stephanie No, it's not Mick. Stephanie MF. Okay. Infongwoat. I don't know how to say that one. She's 1-0. And there's a super lightweight fight with Jake Wiley. He's 6-0 in a 5-round fight against Patrick Clark, who is 2-3. Now I've seen when on the Kambosos v Haney undercard, they had a 5-round fight on there, and I see the American commentators were bewildered. They didn't know what to say. How can you have a 5-round fight? It's like, it avoids draws. That's what it's for. And these short fights with hardly any rounds in them, having an odd number of fights is a good idea to stop a draw happening. I mean, for instance, a 4-round fight, if someone gets knocked down, they've got to win every round and get a knockdown to win the fight, otherwise it's going to be a draw. You know, it stops that shit. So I saw one on the weekend in America. I think it was a 4-round fight. Can't remember the dude's name. He had a plaited ponytail. He got knocked down unexpectedly. going tits to the wall, and he ended up winning by 1 point, but it very easily could have been a draw. So that's that midweek card for Australia. I'll probably be doing a fight party for that Wednesday night on Discord. Check the Discord server. The link for the server is in the description below. So get into it. We have quite a few fight parties and live fights streamed over there. Get into it. Alright, so what else we got in the chat here? George, heard Joyce v White is in talks. Yeah, it's in talks, but so is Parker v White for September. But there's a lot of shit being flung at the moment by Joe Joyce and Frank Warren. They're pissed off that Joseph Parker went over to Sky. In all honesty, I think Joe Parker was trying to get that fight made. Frank kept changing up the deal. Apparently he tried to put a rematch clause in after they shook hands on TV, and Joe was like, look, I haven't got all day to fuck around. They were trying to get him to sign for a couple of fights, which is understandable. Signed to Queensbury, but kind of jumped ship over to Sky. I imagine there's not many fights over at Sky for him, but it's a bigger platform and probably got a hell of a lot more money behind him and probably offered a better deal. I see Ben Shalom from Boxer has offered Joe Joyce $1.2 million, probably the biggest payday he's ever seen, to go and fight over on Sky and fight Joe Parker. And Joe Joyce is flinging shit on social media saying, you shook hands, you didn't want to do this, you didn't want to do that, and then you went and signed with someone else. If you're not scared, come and fight me. You can't go over there and fight. He's on an exclusive Sky deal now, so that fight ain't gonna happen unless it's ordered. It probably will be ordered at some point, but not for a while, because there's no mandatory due for a long time. The WBO is back of the stack at the moment because Alexander Usyk was the last WBO mandatory. So we'll see. I mean, Joe Joyce is high risk for anybody in the heavyweight division, and Frank Warren ain't willing to put decent money behind Joyce to get the fights he needs. So Frank Warren not managing his fighters very well, just like Anthony Yard, not getting the fights he needs, not prepared to put the money behind them. So it is what it is. It's a possibility White v Joyce could happen, but I imagine there's going to be better money on offer for White to rematch Parker in there, because Sky is involved. Frank Warren's broke as a joke after having to fork out $42.5 million. He couldn't win that purse bid against for Daniel Dubois against Trevor Bryan, so I don't expect Frank to be throwing money around for Joe Joyce. It's like he's punishing him for beating Daniel Dubois. Fair enough as well. The Parker fight will still be there for a while. Yeah, well, like I say, it will still be there, but for it to happen, it'll have to be ordered. I imagine it'll end up going to purse bid, or possibly Queensbury and Sky could work together. But if they could work together when it's ordered, why can't they work together when it's not ordered? If they want it on pay-per-view, they can put it on pay-per-view on both platforms. But it's just spreading the money out, more mouths to feed, I guess. So like I say, I imagine if it does get ordered eventually, it will go to purse bid, and whoever wins it, they feed their own mouths and the other guy gets left behind. So it is what it is. Yeah. I think White himself probably sees Parker as more beatable than Joyce, to be honest, as well. So I think it's another factor to consider. Apparently, Ben Shalom is offering a Joseph Parker fight to Deontay Wilder as well. So there's another possibility, but I don't see Deontay Wilder going to the UK to fight Parker, and having a brand new exclusive Sky deal with Boxer. I think they'll want to have that first fight for Parker on the Sky platform, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens, I guess. I see Filip Hrgovic is back in training. He's training in the gym with Luis Ortiz, Carlos Negron, a couple of other guys. It's rumored that maybe that final eliminator between Hrgovic and Zhilei Zhang is going to end up on the Joshua Usyk undercard, so that'll be good. Stack it up with some heavies. Don't expect Zhang to be too much resistance for Filip Hrgovic, but you never know. The Big Bang Zhilei Zhang still has a very good punch. If he can land something on Hrgovic, it could really mix up the heavyweight division big time. So you see the picture down there kind of snuck up on me, this fight, because I've been checking every week to look for confirmation of this cruiserweight title fight between Briedis and Jai Opetaia. I looked last week and I didn't see it confirmed, and then I was just running through the schedule, and it's this weekend. So Jai Opetaia is up and coming Australian prospect. He's unbeaten at this stage, hasn't really fought the level of competition I think you need to fight before you go for a title, but he's a pretty skillful young lad. I've been through a couple of his fights to have a look, like the Joe Camilleri fight, the Francis Cavalier fight. Not really worth looking at too much. Oh no, sorry, that's the card, not his record. Let me see. Go back to his record. No, I went through and had a look at some of his more recent fights. It was Daniel Russell, Benjamin Kelleher, Mark Flanagan. Not quite the type of opposition you need to be facing. The last fight that he had that went the distance was against the Kiwi boy Nick Charalampos. Charalampos is a real hard man, but he's not that great a boxer. But he still managed to take Jai Opetaia the distance over 10 rounds. And at the end of the fight, Nick Charalampos was still beating his chest, going, "I'll take you on again any day. I'll beat you up next time." Blah blah blah. He's one of those guys. But yeah, Jai Opetaia, I don't think he really has that much power. He's kind of one that's a bit like Justice Henry, but a smaller version. He's got a very fast hands, good feet, good punch selection, but I just don't think he's going to have enough power to bother Mairis Briedis. Mairis Briedis is pretty much the best that's left still in the cruiserweight division. Currently he's holding the IBF belt. He's had a couple of fights since he lost to Usyk in the World Series of Boxing. He had a fight last year in September against Arthur Mann, who was 17-1. He had a fight against Yanir Dorticos. That was in 2020. That must have been in the World Series of Boxing. No. Oh, that was, yes, it was the World Series of Boxing, the second season. That was the final. He beat Yanir Dorticos in the final by majority decision over 12. So that was a very interesting fight. I remember watching it now. Prior to that, he fought Krzysztof Glowacki in the semi-final. We all remember that one. That was the one where Briedis pretty much knocked out Glowacki with the elbow on purpose, and fuck all got done about it. But Glowacki's never been that good anyway. He's definitely world level, but he was a former WBO world champion. But as soon as he came up against decent competition, he lost his title. I think he lost that to Usyk actually. Can't quite remember. Before that, Briedis fought. The name's half cut out. Ivor McCallion. He was 23-1. But yeah, it is what it is. We know who Briedis is, man. So both these guys are of similar size, similar reach. I think Joe Opetaia might actually be a little bit taller, actually. Give me a quick look here. Come on, Puda. Move your ass. Where's his stats? There we go. So he's southpaw, I forgot to mention. 6'3" with a 76-inch reach. And Morris Briedis might be 6'2". Got similar reach. Let me bring it up here. Yeah, orthodox, he's 6'1", so he's got a couple of inches and only 1 inch reach deficit. 75. Morris Briedis, he's not going to have any help from Latvian judges this time. He's not fighting at home. He's gone to enemy territory, to Australia, to fight as mandatory, and we're going to get it on Saturday night. It'll probably be a Friday morning for you in the UK, and some ungodly hour for you fellas in the States. So yeah, the co-main event on that one is the super welter fight. That's Joe Camilleri, who's 22-7, in a 10-round fight against Koen. How do you say that? Cohen? Yeah, it must be. Koen Mazudia, who's 9-2. I've seen Joe Camilleri fight. I don't know the other dude, but super welter, 154 with a look. But then it gets into the ones that I'm more interested in. We've got a light heavyweight fight here between Faris Cavalier, who is 13-1, 10-round fight, and he's taking on Connor Wallace, who is 8-1. That could be a very interesting fight. Also, we have a middleweight fight. Isaac Hardman, many of y'all will know that name. He's 12-1, and he's in a 10-round fight against Bo Hartis, who's 6-1. I don't know this Bo Hartis, to be honest. But Isaac Hardman's looking to move up to bigger and better things. I can't remember who his loss was to. I'll have a quick look actually. Isaac Hardman. He's a bit of an arrogant kind of guy. There's his loss. It was his last fight he lost. Oh, he lost to Michael Zarafa. Shit, I missed that one. Yeah, I saw him fight Adam Stowe, which was the previous fight to that, and he got a knockout in the 4th round. I remember having money on that fight actually, so that was December last year. Michael Zarafa. Shit, did I watch that one as well? No, I'm gonna have to go and find that fight after. Michael Zarafa and Isaac Hardman. I probably watched it. My old fart memory is probably playing tricks on me. We've got a super flyweight fight on there. Tyler Robertson, 5-1. 10 times 2. Oh, it's a woman's fight. Okay. She is fighting Yoselin Fernandez. I think I've seen her fight against someone else before. It's 11-1. What else you got on here? Featherweight. Yeah, featherweight. Yeah. Getting down to the dregs at the bottom of the card. We've got a cruiserweight fight down the bottom here. Oh, David Naika's on the card. Why is he way down the bottom? David Naika. No stipulated rounds. But his opponent is Lewis Masters, who is 1-2. Should be an easy night at the office for David Naika. I don't know this Lewis Masters, but I'll have a quick look into his record. No picture. Oops, looking at the wrong one. Clown. Lewis Masters. Oh no, Lewis Masters is the fight below that. No, it's not. Lewis Masters, there we go. Yeah, 1-2, no photo, no stats. Don't know how tall, don't know how, no reach. Just a quick look, do I recognise any of his losses? Austin Owakuso, that's Paolo's brother. Paolo's fighting on that other card on Wednesday that I was talking about. So Austin Owakuso is 3-0 as well. Who else we got on here? Ricky Isilva. Yeah, Ricky Isilva he lost to. Don't know that name. And he beat Dane Alabin, who was 1-0 at the time. Okay. I don't know who this Lewis Masters is, so I'm going to have to keep an eye out. I don't know if that one will even make it onto the broadcast, but I'm likely to run a fight party for that one on Saturday night New Zealand time. Both of those Aussie cards are on Australian Fox, so there should be streams available for them. But definitely most interested in that Opetaia v Myris Briedis. So it's a good fight. So Hannibal's and Phil Carl Roberts has joined us. You Don't Know has all joined us as well. So has Mr. Iron Kong. What have we got in the chat here? Anything interesting? Gargantua. 3-point Hannibal. Right, just getting through some of the stuff, guys. Oh, good, thanks, bro. Yeah, man, if anybody wants to catch any of these Aussie fights, like I say, I'll be doing fight parties for both of them. The first Aussie card is on tomorrow. Basically, what would it be? 24, probably 36 hours about from now it'll start. But if you're not already a member of the Big Boys Discord server, hit the link that's in the chat, in the description, and join the server, and you can find the streaming channels there. You can talk with us about boxing news, how you can even get involved with our prediction league. We post 5 or 6 fights to pick from every week, and there will be a winner at the end of the year, but I suspect most will be too far behind to catch up to the winners by now, but it's all in fun anyway. Yeah. How does Akoli do against Briedis? That's an interesting fight. We might get to see it yet. We just might get to see it. Briedis is taking care of his mandatory. I expect him to be able to beat Jai Opetaia. He may even stop Jai late, but this kid's got wheels and he's got real fast hands, so if he can manage to stay away from Briedis and keep it at range, he's got a good chance of beating him on points. He won't be stopping Briedis though, in my opinion. You see, Akoli v Briedis, to me, will depend on how far down the track that fight happens, because I think Akoli would probably be in a position to possibly try and wait out Briedis until he's too old. Let me have a look at how old Briedis is. Must be getting up there in his 30s by now. Where is his age? There he is. He's 37 years old, see? So, a couple more years and he'll be right for the picking for somebody who's got heavy hands like Akoli. It's an interesting fight though, that's for sure. That's for sure. You think Parker will beat Wilder, bro? Ooh, I don't know. Wilder's got to be a bit damaged after getting smashed up a couple of times. I know he's had a good break and whatnot, but you can't repair nerves in your chin, can you? And Parker's the type of fighter, you know, he's fast, he's elusive. It's not really the type of fighter that Deontay Wilder has fought throughout his career. Besides Tyson Fury in the first fight, where Tyson wasn't really sitting down on any punches. Who else has he fought that's elusive and fast? Pretty much no one really, eh? So I don't know how that fight will go. It's interesting. We've also got Parker's improvements to consider as well under Andy Lee's tutorage. It's an interesting prospect. If it happens, I'll be surprised to say the least, with Parker being with Boxer and Wilder being with PBC. But, you know, it's a good fight. I'd like to see it made, and I'll cross my fingers. Briedis will smack Akoli. Well, he might. If they got in the ring right now, but like I say, Briedis is 37. He's getting up there in age, man. I don't think Parker can keep Wilder at the my thing's in the way. Now I've lost it. Chat jumped off me. Keep Parker at the wild distance, at the wrong distance for Wilder and Parker. Be too easy to hit. Parker will be easy to hit. I don't know about that, man. He's pretty elusive when he wants to be. He's pretty elusive. Both of them don't have a very good inside game either. So Parker getting in on Wilder isn't really going to do him a hell of a lot of good. Unless he's got a big improvement on his inside game. I'd expect Parker to be trying to slip a shot, get inside, throw a combination and get back out. But he won't be wanting to hang around right at the end of Wilder's punches where all his power's at, that's for sure. Wilder doesn't have very good feet. Will he be able to catch up with Parker? It's going to take Parker to make a mistake at the wrong range for him to get Sparkoed. But, you know, we've seen Parker down a couple of times, but he's never looked like getting knocked out. Hey, unless Wilder can sneak in the head, but it'll be interesting, that's for sure, Hannibal. For sure, man. Will be a great fight. Yeah, I agree. It's one of those fights that needs to be made. So, we'll see. Iron Kong, how's it? Did someone say Hemi is fighting Babak? Nah, that's just the fight we've been wishing for ages, bro. That's just a fight that we wish would happen, because that would be fire. Absolute fire. That would be great. Too much talking. Alright, what else we got on here? You don't know. Phil's saying hi to everybody. Cheer, brother Phil. Alright, so yeah. Other news, let me have a look and see what else I can find, because I've pretty much talked out what I was going to talk about. We'll have a quick look on Boxing Scene and see if we've got anything new to look at. I see Eddie Hearn's been defending the matchmaking for Derek Chisora, but also stating, you know, if you can't beat Pulev and get a decent stoppage or something in this one, you're not going to be a headliner anymore. So, you know, Derek's been creaming it, making a lot of money, being in entertaining fights, but I guess the same shit is getting a bit stale with the losses. Yeah, it is what it is. Just scrolling through the news here, see if I can find anything. I see the Canelo and Golovkin press conference the other day. Triple G doing his usual good boy, not confrontational personality shit, and Canelo doing the I'm gonna end your career stuff. I mean, meh. Already seen it twice. I'll be rooting for Triple G, basically only because I think he got ripped off in the first fight. But let's face it, he's not the same fighter he was anymore. I expect him to lose. He may even get stopped later on this time around. It's up at 168 too, so is that extra little bit of weight going to make a difference for Canelo? He's going to have a little bit more power to be able to beat the arms down of Golovkin. I don't know. And to be honest, I'm not that excited about it. For sure, I'll watch it, but yeah, meh. I said the same thing about Fury v Wilder 3. You know, seen it twice already. Don't really need to see it again. And then the third fight turned out to be the barnstormer, the best one of them all. So, you know, fingers crossed on my meh is wrong. Oh yeah, we had Jarrell Miller come back against Ariel Bracamonte last week on Thursday. They're both well overweight, but both over 300 pounds. Miller looked a bit gassed early on, and he was actually getting out volumed by Bracamonte for a while. But Bracamonte gassed, and it seems he's not as used to carrying as much weight as Jarrell Miller. Miller managed to get the win in the end. I can't even remember if he managed to. I don't think he managed to stop Bracamonte. I don't think he did. Don't quote me on that. I'll have a quick look just to make sure. There we go. Don't want to be giving you guys wrong quotes. I know he beat Bracamonte. Yeah, it was a UD over the 10 rounds. I thought the scorecards were wider than they should have been though. Let me have a look if they got them up yet. Yeah, they do. Oh, they gave Bracamonte 3 rounds. 97-92. 97-92. 97-92. Was there a knockdown I missed? I can't remember. Would he get a point taken off or something? Okay. I wasn't watching it that intently because two giantly obese guys and a convicted 3-time drug cheat. You know, it's not really attractive. It's not something I was looking forward to seeing, if you know what I mean. But Jarrell Miller moves on to bigger, well, hopefully not bigger, just better things maybe. You've been smoking a joint, Derek. What? The fuck are you on there? I don't mind the Pulev Chisora fight. Nah, man. It's a good fight. The first one they had was good. This one should be good as well. And like Kong was saying last week when I was on a stream, these are two guys getting it on about the same level. You know, looking at the stats, Pulev has a better record and whatnot, but I think they're both about the same level, similar stage in their careers on the way up. They're getting it on, not holding up anything. Yeah, it's a good fight. I'll definitely be watching it. Chisora suspended. I don't know about that, man. If it's on BoxRec, he just hasn't renewed his license or something. It's usually what it is. Unless I haven't seen any news about him popping dirty for anything or anything like that. Or he might be on a stand down period. Or he would have had a stand down period after his fight with Parker. But that's been a fair while, so I imagine that's over. Unless he hasn't passed a brain scan or something. Which wouldn't surprise me at all because he's been in a hell of a lot of wars. Pulev, have you been smoking? I see his call out on social media the other day, trying to be like Alexander Usyk, Derek, and then screaming, and then saying something that I didn't understand. I mean, get something original, Pulev. That's Usyk's calling card, that one. I don't fancy Yard's chances. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Yard's going to get stopped one way or another. It is what it is, you know. Like I said in the last stream, I think Frank's managed him to put money in his own pocket rather than try and prepare him for a title fight like that. He didn't prepare him last time with the right fights. He didn't prepare him this time. There's going to be the same result one way or another. So, we'll see, man. We shall see what happens. Apparently that fight's almost made. It's going to be in London. Yard v Beterbiev. Miller did not look good. Yeah, well, he's just about blocking out the sun at the moment. He's that freaking fat. He certainly didn't seem to have as much volume without all the peds in his system. So, I don't know. Maybe he needs to go to Mexico and eat some clenbuterol meat for a while and lose some fucking weight. Fat fuck. That's right, you don't know. Hit that like. Actually, we can do the proper. We can do the. Make sure you that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that bell icon for future notifications. Right, back to where and I think that's maybe just about it for today, folks. Like I say, I'll be running a fight party on Wednesday with the fight streaming on Discord. Get over to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. The link to the server is in the description below. I'll probably also be doing the fight party with the fight being streamed and mics enabled for the Briedis v Opetaia card as well. Get into it. There's lots of other activities you can be involved with on the Discord server, like the betting league. Sorry, not the betting league, the prediction league. We've got live fight links get dropped there if you don't want to join us to watch them in the voice channels. We've got boxing chat, we've got non-boxing chat. Go and check it out, get involved, and enjoy. So, hope y'all have enjoyed, and we should catch you next time. Keep safe, keep your family safe, and we out of here. See you.
So that's us for today. I hope you have enjoyed. You can show your appreciation with a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to check out our Discord community where you can find boxing news, fight links, live streamed fights, and much more. So look after yourself and your family. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. See you!